heating and cooling, a Daikin comfort dealer. Now, the Gashouse Gang on KMOX.
That's right. The Gashouse Gang is happening until 1 o'clock today, and it happens every Monday through Friday on 104.1 FM KMOX. A good afternoon to you. Good afternoon to Bernie Miklas. I'm Chris Ranji, and we are getting you ready for the winter meetings. This is it, baby. Starting on Sunday, goes for about 4 days in Orlando, Florida. The winter meetings are taking place, and this is historically the time where frameworks for deals happen. Sometimes deals just blow up and they happen right there. Sometimes it takes a little bit of time. Sometimes the winter is pretty much done before the winter meetings. So, Bernie, and I know you have covered winter meetings for a long time, and so you have a handle on what's going to happen, I guess. Do you think much about what might happen before the end of next week?
Yeah, I think, man, I can't predict that like deals will be made because every year is different. But this will be, if nothing else, I mean, there will be serious conversations. This is when it starts to get to the nitty gritty, when someone like Chaim Bloom will talk to so many teams, if not every team, and he'll begin to identify trade partners for people that he's interested in trading. He'll be able to kind of cut the list of teams that he should focus on for trades. And so is there a chance that he could get something done during the meetings? I mean, I guess if someone blows him away, let's say hypothetically in an offer for Brendan Donovan, yeah, I think if he hears what he wants to hear, I think he'll make the trade at the moment, basically. So we'll just have to wait and see. But I think it's going to be interesting. And there's going to be, of course, 1 million rumors. And there'll be a lot of people putting a lot of stuff out there. And so get your, get your BS, your BS filter.
Yeah, that's right.
Get that BS filter repaired and make sure it's running okay.
Okay, so where is the who should we be filtering out?
Oh, I don't know. This is more of a general thing.
Yeah. No, you know what you should, Bernie. How about this? Do not fall for the fake pass-in next week.
Yeah, that's one thing.
You know about the fake Passon, the fake Rosenthal, the fake Nightingale?
Exactly.
If you're following any of these guys that you're following on Twitter, the baseball news breakers, do not fall for the fake ones. Just make sure that they're verified, or make sure you're already following these people, because I have been fooled. I allowed myself one time to be fooled once, and I think it was a fake Rosenthal, but I can't remember. Don't do it.
Yeah, listen, in the early days of Twitter, I fell for not a reporter, but I was convinced that I was actually having a Twitter conversation with Charles Barkley, which was pretty stupid. No, I admit it. At least I didn't have to. I did not have to divulge that. And then awesome. I had some of my friends say, "Dude, I love you, but that's a complete fake, right?" And I'm like, "Oh man." Okay, so I learned my lesson.
What was the conversation? Do you remember?
I don't. It was a long time ago,
That's
and
so
I've actually tried to forget it too. So, no, the one thing that's on my nerves already. I'll just do a little bit of Grumpy Bernie. It's just grumpy. It's no big deal.
Oh, I love Grumpy Bernie.
The last week or so, I've seen stuff basically speculating that Nolan Arenado is going to go to like 7 different places. And it's just like, come on. There's not all that much of a market for him. There really isn't. And I think the Angels are a great fit. And there's a couple other teams that might be a better fit than others. But I think nationally, I think media, bloggers, radio people like us, YouTubers, I think they really underestimate, or I should say overestimate, the trade interest in him. I think it's going to be very limited because of his free fall offensively, his age. Even though the Cardinals are going to put up a lot of money to make the move, that could get some teams into the bidding. But I think he'll be traded. But I'm trying like hell to just tune out all this nonsense about teams that he won't be going to, with people acting like he will be going to them, or at least it's a distinct possibility. So the Arenado stuff's on my nerves. I'm like you, Chris, and just about everybody else. I'm ready for that to be over.
Well, the Arenado thing in particular, and I'm with you. I want to see them make that move happen. I know it's looking back on this, but I really wish he had taken that deal before last season. I wish he had accepted that move. It would have changed a lot for the Cardinals. And probably and I can't speak for him. I don't know him. I don't know privately what he thinks, but I would not be surprised if he feels regretful that he didn't, take that opportunity to go to Houston, or I think were the Angels maybe part of a deal too. I can't remember. But at least to Houston, you would think that he probably would have liked to do that now. Maybe not. I don't know. I have no idea.
Well,
but it seems to me that he might have.
Yeah, I don't know that he'll acknowledge that, though. And I think Nolan Arenado is a good guy, but I'm with you. I think he made a mistake. However, what people would know him would say is, and I'm convinced of this, it's like, well, the Astros didn't make the playoffs, so it's not like he screwed up on a chance to play for a team that had a chance to go all the way last season. They sputtered. So, yeah, I don't know. But I think it's no offense to him, because I've enjoyed having him as a Cardinal, very much so.
Me too.
But I'm just burned out on it, So I hope that's the first thing Chaim Bloom can get done. But he might have to wait on other teams to see what they're going to do at third base. They may be pursuing other people, whatever,
Cardinals do have a couple of left-handers that we've talked a lot about. Mostly, it's Brendan Donovan, the utility player, that. One of the best in the game, and there'll be a market for him. I don't know what the Cardinals get in return for a player like him, but there's going to be a market for him. And we talked about this a couple of days ago, Bernie, about Wilson Contreras, who has indicated, at least according to reporting, and we talked to Katie Wu from The Athletic yesterday. And by the way, congrats to Katie, who is
awesome.
Moving on to Los Angeles to become the Dodgers beat reporter there. Has done a fantastic job here for the last 5 years. But talking about Wilson Contreras, who, despite what he has said publicly, is apparently privately more willing to be on the move. He's more willing to waive his no trade clause to go somewhere else. I think there should be a good market for him. I know he's making a decent amount of money, but he's been a pretty productive player, and he does whatever the organization has asked him to do, like switch positions.
Right. He's been a consistently good hitter for all 3 years he's been with the Cardinals. And over those 3 years, he is the 9th best. I double-checked this yesterday. As a Cardinal, 3 years, Wilson Contreras is the 9th best right-handed hitter in baseball. And why that's important is because I'm not saying right-handed hitters, good ones, I'm not saying that they're like becoming extinct. But the way baseball is now, there are so many more outstanding left-handed hitters than right-handed hitters. So if you're a contender and you really need to beef up your right-handed hitting, and you have an open first base spot or a DH spot, he fits. So I think there will be interest in him. And the fact that he was the 3rd best first baseman defensively in the sport last year, in terms of outs above average, you're not giving up anything defensively by putting him in your lineup. In fact, he may even make your lineup in terms of defense better.
Yeah. So, I like the guy, and I don't think, and maybe it's because the Cardinals haven't been a particularly great team since he got here, but he just hasn't been given the amount of credit I think he deserves since he's come to St. Louis.
No, and the way it started with that unfortunate episode where pitchers were complaining, and like a month into his stay as a Cardinal, and and then that became
took him out of the position for a minute and put him back. Yeah.
They treated him terribly, and I don't know whether that had some effect on coloring some fans' view of him to where all of a sudden he went from being okay or popular to unpopular. I don't know, but it was a terrible thing that they did to him. But no, I appreciate everything about him. He plays hard. He cares. He's got a big heart. He's a great teammate. He's unselfish. And he's just good at what he does. Like, I don't want to get too deep into this because I tend to do that, as you know, and I apologize. But I did something really quick, and this is easy to explain. His hitting stats over 3 years as a Cardinal, right? There's only 6 right-handed hitters in the game that can match those stats over the last 3 years, and he's one of the 6. He's my point is, like, I'm a fan of his, but he's even done better than I assumed. He's better than I thought.
If the team had been better, I think he's getting better attention.
Right.
So I mean, because it's tough to be a really good player on a team that isn't doing much. It's just,
absolutely.
I mean, it's difficult for guys like him. It's difficult for Brendan Donovan, Alec Burleson. It's tough for players like that when you're playing well, but the team is just not good.
Yeah, and I'm glad that a couple of guys broke through. Like Mason Wynn obviously deserved to win the Gold Glove.
Absolutely.
I think he's one guy that stands out because all around baseball, so many people have talked about his defense. And I was pleasantly surprised that Burleson broke through by winning the Silver Slugger as a utility player, and he was a utility player. I mean, he played left field, he played right field, he played first base, and he got better defensively. He's not like great, but his defense is fine. He's not going to hurt you. He's not like a tremendous liability, but he's worked to get better. And he had his best offensive season. So that's a guy that I think really ought to be circled as someone looking back on 2025 was clearly a highlight because he was better than he had ever been. He showed real signs of progress in a lot of areas.
As we get close to the winter meetings, again, they will start on Sunday in Orlando. I'm just thinking about the rest of the division here, Bernie, before we hit the break. And, you've got the Brewers doing what they are. The Cubs, I'm not sure how aggressive they're going to be. You would think they'd be more aggressive during the offseason. Kyle Tucker appears to be he's probably gone. I don't think they're going to bring him back. Tucker's visiting the Blue Jays, so he might end up in Toronto. There will be other suitors for him. You've got the Reds, who there's speculation out there they might end up with Kyle Schwarber. So, I mean, what do you think of the rest of the division? And as we sit here looking at basically a rebuild for the Cardinals, just taking a look at the other teams in the division, what are your thoughts on them?
I'll start with the Cubs since you brought them up first. I read a piece in The Athletic this morning, and Patrick Mooney wrote it. I totally trust his information. He made it sound like Kyle Tucker's not even on their radar. And Jed Hoyer, their president of baseball operations, his talking points now are that, hey, we have a couple of kids in our system who are outfielders, and they're two of our best prospects, and we're really looking forward to seeing what they can do. So he's talking up prospects rather than, hey, we're going to be aggressive. We're going to go out on the market and we're going to get this and we're going to get that. I will say this: the Cubs, I do believe, will be very aggressive in terms of pitching. They need a starter. I know Craig Counsell would like to have like 2 or 3 relievers. And so we'll and Phil Maton signed there, right? Yeah. So they've already got one of them. So I don't think they're going to do much with their offense. As far as the Reds, I think the Schwarber thing might be a pipe dream. Ken Rosendahl broke it down. Their general manager said they're going to hold the line on their payroll. Well, if they do that, I don't see how they fit in, $30 million a year for Schwarber. Maybe they can. Maybe they'll raise the payroll. Milwaukee's a little bit of a mystery team. I don't have a read on them. The biggest question there: will they trade their ace, Freddie Peralta? Those rumors are heating up again. The Pirates are interesting from the standpoint that they're talking to everyone about, no, we're spending money. Well, we're spending money. It's like, okay. You know why they're saying that, and you know why the Marlins are saying that? Because they're being good soldiers because of what Rob Manfred is going to try to pitch to the players, which is Look, some of our teams that haven't been spending money, they get the message.
Yeah,
they get the message. And if we're going to have a better revenue sharing system, they understand they got to do more. So I think it's mostly propaganda. And the fact is, if the Pirates sign a couple players, it's not going to make a difference unless they can get Ohtani from the Dodgers, and maybe signed. If they sign Kyle Tucker, I think they'll upgrade, but is it going to be enough? I don't know. They do have really good pitching, though.
Gashouse Gang is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, Saliga Heating and Cooling.com. It's Bernie Miklasz and Chris Ranji. We will talk to Craig Mish, host of Newswire on Sports Grid. We'll get his thoughts on the baseball offseason and the winter meetings coming up. He'll join us at 12:30, but it's Bernie Miklasz, Chris Ranji on the Gashouse Gang. We also have a Cardinals weekend pack we'll give away. Holiday packs. Got to be listening for your chance to win on the Gashouse Gang on KMOX.
Hi, Debbie Monterey with Gloria Liu, owner of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Gloria, you've been helping families for more than 22 years with your guarantees, your buyers and waiting program, and you were telling me that between now and the end of the year is a good time to sell. Can you share why?
Always good to see you. When it comes to timing, the spring and fall selling season have historically been the most active. However, due to raised home value and affordability, this market still has lots of sellers and buyers on the sidelines. Fact is, between now and year end is a great time to discuss the sale of your home. I have guaranteed sale program solutions for every situation, including instant multiple cash offers, 100% market value, or my trusted guaranteed sale program, where I'll sell your home at our agreed upon price, or I will buy it myself.
Sounds like a plan. The time is now. Call Gloria Liu at 314-325-6888, 314-325-6888, or visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com. GloriaHasTheBuyers.com. Gloria and seller must agree on price and possession date.
Just hearing the word IRS can make people break out in a cold sweat. No one wants to deal with the IRS, and now you don't have to. The good news is Legal Tax Defense has been successfully negotiating with the IRS for more than 15 years. It doesn't matter how much you owe, whether it's $5,000 or $5 million. You deserve the best in the business on your side, and that is Legal Tax Defense. Even if you're working with someone else and just want a second opinion, there is no cost or obligation to call. They can prevent levies, liens, wage garnishments, even file back tax returns. And the best news about Legal Tax Defense is they won't take your case unless they know they will reduce or eliminate your tax debt. Call Legal Tax Defense right now for a free no-risk consultation. 800-323-8922. 800-323-8922. You have nothing to lose but everything to gain. 800-323-8922.
This holiday, give the gift that lasts all season long. Cardinals ticket packs are on sale now, starting at 5, 6, and 10 games. All packs include 2026's top games and favorite giveaways. Backed by popular demand, choose from the opening day pack or the bobblehead pack. Check out the Cubs pack, weekend pack, or apparel pack. There's a pack for everyone. Find your perfect gift right now at cardinals.com/tickets.
The holidays come and go, but Cardinals baseball lasts all season long. This year, give the gift of all-inclusive tickets, featuring a full buffet, complimentary bar, and unbeatable views at Busch Stadium. Enjoy great food, good times, and every moment of the action. Choose your experience in the Budweiser 703 Club, UMB Champions Club, Coca-Cola Scoreboard Patio, and more. Make your holidays brighter with all-inclusive tickets, on sale now at cardinals.com/tickets.
Barnes Jewish Hospital and WashU Medicine physicians have long been leaders in heart and vascular care. Now, we're taking the patient experience to another level by opening our new state-of-the-art patient tower, designed specifically with heart patients in mind. By combining the latest technology with thoughtful design and private rooms, heart patients can experience faster healing, reduce stress, and improved outcomes. Learn more at barnesjewish.org/heart.
Hey guys, Glover here for my friends Mark and Neil Gelman from the Gelman team of eXp Realty. If you want immediate cash for your home or to see what your home is actually worth in today's market, find out for free from the local experts. 314-336-1991. Go to thegelmanteam.com.
This is Scott Bakula. Congratulations, KMOX, on an amazing 100 years. And thanks for always being a voice we could count on.
Bernie Miklasz, Chris Ranji on the Gashouse Gang today. We have the Cardinals holiday pack, a weekend pack we'll give away. We'll tell you when it's time to win those tickets, and then you're going to have to make a phone call, but it's not yet that time. I know Bernie Miklasz, who's wearing his Brian Wilson hat. Is it that Brian Wilson, or is it the former closer?
No, it is that Brian Wilson.
Okay.
And shout out to producer Matt for playing the song that Pat, don't take my word for it, that Paul McCartney said the greatest song ever written.
That's right.
God only knows. So, yeah.
It really is a great song.
I mean, I cried like a baby when Brian Wilson died. I did.
Is that one of your favorites?
Yeah. Grew up with all the great songs he wrote. As you know, and it's funny, you go through a transition because when you're younger, it's all about the beach songs, the car songs, the party songs. As I got older and became an adult, it became more about pet sounds and all of the really deeply personal stuff he wrote that I think a lot of people of a certain age could relate to. And just a brilliant guy. I had a chance to meet him one time. I don't think he even knew where he was at the time, but that's okay. God bless him.
You know, I was earlier today on the Chris and Amy show, we talked to Joe Blanner with the Regional Convention and Sports Complex Authority. There's an attempt to, I guess it's going to happen, that there will be a merger with Explore St. Louis because of the oversight of the Dome at America Center, which once hosted the Rams. And, I think about that, where that building is, Bernie. And then I think about Terry Bradshaw, a couple of weeks ago when he was in town. He was here in St. Louis, and, he said St. Louis should still have a football team. And he could have been pandering. And he probably was pandering a little bit, knowing the crowd he was talking to. But, we got the Battlehawks. But there's something about NFL football. There's something about that season and not having it here in town. And it's still, every now and then it stings a bit. I know it's been 10 years, but there's still a sting. Don't you think? I mean, just because we know St. Louis watches football. We know they pay attention to the NFL. The ratings are really good here in town. We've got the Cowboys-Lions game on KMOX tonight, and those are two teams. That might be a fun game tonight.
Sure, Cowboys look really good all of a sudden.
Yeah, Cowboys are looking a whole lot better than they did at the beginning of the year. But that sting is still there, I think, a bit, Bernie.
No, it is on a number of levels, because it's always more fun when you have an NFL team, simply because it is such a huge deal. And the fact that it's one game a week, unless the team is dreadful, that one game is monumental in terms of importance.
Spend all week talking about it. One
right.
game.
And, and I'm a football fan. Listen, man, I watch more NFL than I ever have because I have more time on Sunday because I'm not covering an NFL team. But the other thing, too, and I'm sure this will resonate with you. It bothers me, and by the way, this is my fault because I could change this. It bothers me that I don't talk enough on KMOX or on my YouTube videos, or or write enough about the NFL on my STL Sports Central columns. It's almost like, as much as I follow it, it's like I've erased the idea of like, I'm going to tell Kevin Wheeler we ought to do a couple segments on the NFL tonight or whatever, or just me doing a YouTube video, because the YouTube video, like I could do one saying, well, the Cardinals are going to have. I could do a YouTube video saying, this just in, the Cardinals will have a different kind of oatmeal in the clubhouse next year, and it'll get like 4,000 views, right? Yeah. Now, if I do something on an NFL team, especially the Chiefs, ironically, it's like 900, it's like 800 people watching. Half of them are telling me to go to hell because, I talked about the Chiefs in the NFL. So that part of it, I will say, get the hell over it. In terms of, if you, as a fan or even a media person, you want to boycott the NFL, that's fine. You do what you want. I'll do what I want. Okay. And we'll just give each other that space. But I'm tired of just like, people, getting the pitchforks out every time, like we spend 3 minutes talking about the Chiefs or the Cowboys or something. It's ridiculous.
Well, people are going to love this. We've got football tonight. The Lions and Cowboys. It's on KMOX. And I know people are going to be listening, too. They'll complain, but there are a lot of people who still watch and listen to football. Bernie Miklasz, Chris Ranji on the Gashouse Gang. Craig Mish will join us next. We will talk a little off-season with him. Winter meetings start on Sunday, and we'll get his thoughts on that. But right now, Missouri, it's happening. FanDuel Sportsbook is live, and it is rolling in the Show Me State. And they've got a little something for everyone as they celebrate the first week of live betting in Missouri. Every customer gets a no-sweat bet every day this week. That's right. No matter what you're betting on, if it doesn't hit, you're going to get bonus bets back to keep the action going. And how about a points boost tonight for that Thursday night game? It is 1+ points scored in the Lions versus Cowboys game. It's a $50 max bet and plus 100 odds. If you want to get in on that with the FanDuel app, you can download it by going to FanDuel.com/Missouri, and that will get you started. FanDuel Sportsbook is now live in the Show Me State. 21 and over and present in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Opt-in required each day. Refund issued as a non-withdrawable bonus bet that expires 7 days after receipt. Max refund $20. Restrictions apply, including token expiration. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com.
Championship Saturday is here, and KMOX is bringing the hits. At 2:30, the SEC Championship takes center stage with a heavyweight rematch. The Georgia Bulldogs and the Alabama Crimson Tide. Two giants, one crown. And we're not stopping there. Right after, it's the Big Ten Championship. The Indiana Hoosiers looking to shock the world against the Ohio State Buckeyes. Championship Saturday on 104.1 FM. KMOX.
Kneel Forever performs Neil Diamond live in concert at the Factory in Chesterfield on Friday, January 9th.
It's fantastic.
Friday, January 9th, Kneel Forever performing all the hits of Neil Diamond at the Factory.
He is a great performer.
He's amazing.
Sounds just like Neil.
Rock and roll, we get on board. Tickets at Ticketmaster.com.
Now, KMOX weather from the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk.
It is 23 degrees and mostly sunny in St. Louis. The high is 24. The overnight low will be 13, close to the record low of 8, set back in the late 1800s. The weather brought to you by Pine Valley Assisted Living.
Looking for a beautiful, all-inclusive place for your loved one? Happy holidays from Pine Valley Assisted Living. Secure a room between now and January 31st and take advantage of our move-in special. Enjoy affordable rates with absolutely no hidden fees. Experience the beautiful life at Pine Valley. Visit rspseniorliving.com today.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell, definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. Do you feel stupid for buying a timeshare? Don't. It's not your fault. You were most likely told you could rent it, and it was a great financial investment. And the deal was available today only. If this happened to you, contact your resort or Wesley Financial Group for help today.
Call Wesley now for your free exit information kit. 800-242-3131. 800-242-3131.
250 years ago, a promise was made to connect families and friends near and far. And during the holidays, that promise is more important than ever. That's why USPS is building a better network to meet your needs with timely deliveries, easy and affordable ways to ship, and everything you need to make your season full of holiday cheer. Our purpose is delivering your peace of mind, knowing your love will arrive bringing joy to all. The United States Postal Service. Learn more at usps.com/holidays.
If you're drowning in IRS debt and can't afford to pay, then you need to take advantage of special IRS tax programs that are available and free yourself from IRS collection efforts once and for all. Due to the financial hardship consumers are facing throughout the country, the Internal Revenue Service has made it easier to settle delinquent tax problems. An open phone line has been established by Community Tax for consumers to call and see if they qualify. Take down this number or store it in your cell phone, but call the Community Tax Helpline at 800-269-3454. If you owe back taxes to the IRS and cannot afford to pay them back, or even if you have years of unfiled tax returns, there's no need to fear anymore. But you have to call the Community Tax Helpline today at 800-269-3454 for the help that you need. Don't take on the IRS alone. They can attack your wages, savings, pension, home, and even your Social Security check. Call 800-269-3454 for your free consultation and to see if you qualify. That's 800-269-3454.
Get ready for Thursday night football as the Cowboys take on the Lions.
Siteman Cancer Center game time 6:30. Siteman Cancer Center, national leaders in cancer.
The Cowboys, the Lions on 104.1 FM KMOX.
It is the Gashouse Gang with Bernie Miklasz and Chris Ranji. Bernie with you, thanks to Saliga Heating and Cooling, a Daikin dealer. And we're glad you're with us as we get ready for the winter meetings, which start in Orlando on Sunday. Joining us to discuss that is Craig Mish, the host of Newswire on Sports Grid. Also, you might remember him, Marlins analyst for FanDuel Florida. And Craig Mish is on the show now. How's it going, Craig?
Great to be with you, Chris, and Bernie. Thanks for having me on the show.
Craig, big fan of your work as for a long time. You break so many stories, so I always appreciate that tip of the cap. Since I'm running my mouth, I'll ask you the first question. Sorry, Raj.
No, that's all right.
The winter meetings are always busy, but would you expect any big news, as in notable or large trades being made just during the winter meetings itself?
It's really unpredictable, Bernie. I've been to so many of these. I think the last one, I didn't go last year. The last one that I was at was 2 years ago. And what it really has become, and, to keep it, transparent, because obviously I would like to do that for your listeners, it's become a catching up sort of convention for everybody in the game more than it has been for the signing of free agents and trades and things like that. It's really hard to predict if something is going to actually happen there. Look, it definitely could, but outside of, I think, maybe once or twice in the last 10 years of me going, something significant has happened. And it's great to catch up and see everyone and then get to sit down with the managers and the executives, et cetera. But given the structure and the balance and the way that we run Major League Baseball and the free agency, there's really no incentive whatsoever to sign until January or even February at times. So until that structure changes, winter meetings are going to be a lot of hype and probably very little substance, honestly.
Okay, so does that mean the winter meetings have outlived their usefulness, or is it, is there still a value to networking? And I mean value beyond what the media gets from it. Is there value for the teams being in the same place for a few days?
No, because they can still text and call, and so that part of it is overrated. The underrated part is catching up with all of your coworkers and writers and seeing people for sure once a year that that most of the important media who's going to cover the game is going to be there. So that to me is and has been the valuable part, is seeing these people face to face, like agents that I would speak to in terms of breaking news, or maybe managers or executives that I have as sources. So that, Chris, is really the value of it. As far as it outliving its importance, I think that it has in a way, but I also think it can be rebuilt, because if we do change the way baseball is in a year from now, and I don't know if it's going to happen or not, I mean, it could be a good conduit to actually have all the free agent signings happening during that time. But we certainly can't be promoting it as if it's like this Lollapalooza of free agent signings and trades if it just never happens. So I can't sit here and say that that's something that's going on right now.
Craig, it's highly anticipated in St. Louis and elsewhere, but I want to get your read on it. Heim Bloom's got a lot of merchandise to sell. How aggressive do you think he will go in terms of this rebuild, which could mean a purging of quite a few players?
It does sound, Bernie, like that's the case with the Cardinals, and I know that fans aren't necessarily going to be happy to hear that, but it does feel like a very similar to situation that what Heim did in Boston could be headed to St. Louis. Let's also not forget that Heim did a great job in Boston. A lot of the young prospects and the players that you're seeing now that came through their system was really courtesy of him. I thought that he was let go sort of unfairly. Bloom comes from, the Tampa Bay Rays. The Marlins also have their president of baseball operations, Peter Bendix, who also came from the Tampa Bay Rays. And Peter here, Bernie, and basically, at the trade deadline, I believe it was not this past year, but the year before, completely dismantled everything and traded anything that wasn't locked down. I do expect the Cardinals to operate the same way. I don't think this is like the kind of thing that's going to happen every year with the Cardinals, or they'd be looking at, doing this for the next 3 or 4 years. But I do think you are correct. I think this season is a transitional year, it appears, for St. Louis.
Yeah, it does appear to be transitional. Does it look like those pieces Bernie is talking about? I mean, are they, like, how attractive are they to people? And are there some that maybe the Cardinals are less likely to part with that would be more attractive? It's just that they need to be available. I mean, I'd like to know how other teams really view it.
Yeah, I mean, I can't speak to every team, but a player like of name value, like Wilson Contreras, to me would not be valuable to another team. A player like Brendan Donovan, who's on a more restricted salary structure, not making as much money, maybe he would be more valuable. And I think that's the way that probably Heim Bloom is going to operate here, is to cash in for the most valuable assets that they have. Obviously the Sonny Gray trade was a little bit of a money move. I think we can all agree with that. But I would actually look toward players that are either arbitration eligible or close to free agency. Based on the way that I know Tampa Bay likes to operate, I think that's the way that the Cardinals will operate in the same way. So I don't know if that answers your question, but Those are the kind of players that, surprising players that you may think are not moved. Wow, why would they move that guy? He still has 2 years of control left. Well, if the Cardinals don't feel like they're going to be good in a year or two, it's time to move those guys now.
And also, real quick, Bernie, before you pop in here, how do teams, from your perspective, from an outside perspective, I think we've asked this question of a lot of different people from around the country, but how do they view Heim Bloom? What's his reputation?
It's very good. I think most people feel like that they put too much pressure on him in Boston to do something different than what he was brought in to do. I think that the ownership group brought him into the Red Sox and said, hey, a lot of teams want to operate like Tampa Bay, but you can't operate like Tampa Bay in a big market. And I think look, the Mookie Betts trade obviously was horrible. We can't look at that and say, oh, he did a great job there. It was a terrible trade. They didn't get anything back in return. And look, if you want to put that above all the other moves that he made, drafts, free agents, international signings, you certainly could do that if you choose. But I tend to look at it as a half full situation, and I see all the players in Boston that are young and are up and coming, like Campbell and and Rafaela and Bello and some of these young guys that they have. I mean, these are all guys that were acquired under Bloom's leadership. So maybe not the best in terms of trade, but in terms of young prospect and development, Tristan Casas as well. I think that is coming to the Cardinals, and it's tough. Look, I'm here in South Florida, so you don't have you know where I've been here. But I think in a year or two from now, I think they could be right back at it. You just have to be patient and know that that's the direction. It's player development, internal structure, and changing the way things are done.
Craig, I wanted to ask you something that's connected to your Miami roots. We get asked all the time. The Cardinals have been power deficient for a while. I mean, it's a glaring problem. And they say, well, what are they going to do? And one of the things I point to is what Peter Bendix and the Marlins did. They were able to get, I always mispronounce his last name, Kyle Stowers from the Orioles. And they gave up they gave up a good reliever. They gave up a good pitcher, but I know Stowers was hurt a bit last year, but he was a power bat in their lineup, and he was very, very good. And I point to that as an example of the kind of thing Heim Bloom perhaps could pursue. But are there many of those guys available, or was it just right place, right time for the Marlins?
Stowers was not the main piece in that trade, Bernie. It was another player by the name of Connor Norby who was the main piece in the trade. It's just that Stowers well outperformed any of his projections internally or externally at the end of the season. So, I mean, I don't know if that's the direction that we would go with that kind of conversation here. I'm not going to say that the Marlins got lucky there, but sometimes you do get a player that ends up growing and finding himself with a new organization, and that's a credit to the Marlins for properly developing him. But even going into spring training last year, he was very much an unknown. He had a poor spring. We thought, maybe he'll be a platoon player. Maybe will he play? Will he not? And then he ended up becoming an all-star and, maybe gets extended by the Marlins. Who knows? So, I think that's part of it, Bernie. I think, look, I can't say exactly how Bloom is going to run things, but if I was to guess, part of what you're saying may be in play, but I think you're going to find Bloom attack run prevention. I think you're going to find him attack players who, at least in this first year, protect the pitchers and play good defense and defensive run save. I think that those are the stats that you want to look at. I think those are the kind of players that these Tampa Bay guys, when they leave Tampa Bay, try to acquire. And if you look at what Bloom did in Boston, it was very similar to that initially. So I wouldn't be surprised to see an elite-level defense on the Cardinals this season. I don't know about offense. We'll see.
So far, it looks like the Blue Jays have been the most aggressive team in the offseason. They signed Dylan Cease. They signed Cody Ponce. They've got maybe Kyle Tucker that they're clearly going after him because they are meeting with him. Do you expect Toronto to end up being the most aggressive team this offseason in terms of acquisitions?
Look, the tea leaves, Chris, say that right now. I don't know in the end if that's going to be the case because you still have Philadelphia and you still have the Yankees and the Mets and some of these other teams as well. But the Blue Jays certainly, caught their piece of success and they tasted it and it feels like they want some more. And what I always tell people is when we go through this period of time and they ask me like which teams are going to be the most aggressive and which teams aren't going to do anything, I always say there's always one team, and I wouldn't even use the Blue Jays, but there's always one team that every offseason kind of goes for it. You remember the Texas Rangers a couple of years ago when they acquired Seager? They went for Aaron Judge. I think there's but that it wouldn't surprise me all of a sudden to see jump big into free agency. So, look, it does appear that the Blue Jays want to win more than they've won and want to keep going, but it kind of hard for me to say right now. And unfortunately, that's just the trickle of this hot stove. It doesn't really seem to get hot until January.
Well, hopefully something happens. It'll give us something to talk about for the next few weeks here in December. Craig Mish, it's always great talking to you. Thank you for being with us today.
Of course. Thanks for having me, guys. Have a great holiday.
Craig Mish, host of Newswire on Sports Grid, also the Marlins analyst on FanDuel Sports Florida. He's great. We talked to him a ton back when the Marcell Ozuna deal happened with the Cardinals years ago. Let's do this. Before we have Bernie tell us about our friends at Saliga, I want to give you the opportunity to win tickets. Right now, it's the Holiday Pack we are giving away. Holiday Cardinals Pack that we are giving away. And this one is the Weekend Pack. So we've got a Weekend Pack of tickets to give away for the 2026 season. We're looking for caller number 3 to the contest line, 955-1120, 314-955-1120. Best of luck. And Bernie, as we do hit the break here, tell everyone. Oh, I should also mention, if you're going to win those tickets, we want to thank the Cardinals for giving those to us to give to you, and you must have a valid email address. So, Bernie, tell us about our friends at Saliga.
I am proud to speak on behalf of Saliga Heating and Cooling because this Daikin Comfort dealer has been taking care of St. Louis family since 1927. Uninterrupted. 4 generations of Saligas have been taking care of all those generations of St. Louisans. Man, I'd say that's earned a ton of credibility and trustworthiness. And we should know because the Miklas family's been calling Saliga Heating and Cooling for the last 18 years. And nothing but the highest marks. When they say they're going to come to your home, they come to your home in between the specified time frame. They're classy. They're professional. They explain everything in detail. They're not trying to fast rush you, talk you into something. especially not try to upsell you into buying something you don't need or want. And we have found their integrity at Saliga Heating and Cooling to be impeccable. I mean, just they always look to save us money by examining the cheapest or the least expensive solutions first. They also have a priority club, which is a maintenance plan that will save you money by extending the life of your current equipment. And they come in, it takes a brief amount of time. It's not expensive at all. And you got the peace of mind that everything is working properly for whatever season it is, and you will save money. Listen, I think the thing you ought to do is just take a look around at Saliga Heating and Cooling at all the services they have, and the phone number is on their site. That is SaligaHeatingandCooling.com. Thank you.
Winterfest is back for the 10th year in Keener Plaza, now through January 11th. Enjoy Winterfest traditions, including ice skating, s'mores, and igloos underneath 100,000 twinkling lights in the shadow of the Gateway Arch. Grab a bite or drink from downtown favorites and enjoy a family-friendly New Year's Eve fireworks spectacular. Winterfest, hosted by Gateway Arch Park Foundation, presented by Bank of America and Worldwide Technology. For more info, KMOX.com/events.
This is Congressman Bob Onder. For 43 days, the left kept the government closed, holding the American people hostage and demanding radical policy changes, including free health care for illegal immigrants. However, thanks to strong Republican leadership, the Senate voted to reopen the government and put America first. I'm thrilled to return to Washington so I can continue to vote to help Missourians, to secure our nation's borders, and to cut wasteful spending. Visit onder.house.gov to find the office closest to you.
Paid for by official funds authorized by the House of Representatives.
If you owe the IRS, you have a legal issue, and you need the Lance Drury Law Firm. We'll protect your rights. Log on at lancedrurylaw.com.
Attention all dog owners. If you have ever listened to the radio or TV for any length of time, you've probably heard of America's #1 dog supplement, Rough Greens. Greetings, naturopathy Dr. Dennis Black, Amazon best-selling author and founder of Rough Greens here. And if your dog suffers from bad breath, itchy skin, licking paws, joint pain, or low energy, the truth is their food is probably to blame. You see, all commercial dog food is dead food. That's why I created Rough Greens. One daily scoop gives your pup the live vitamins, omega oils, probiotics, and enzymes that will bring their food back to life. Don't believe me? Let your dog try it before you buy it. I'll send you a free Jumpstart trial bag, risk-free. You just cover the shipping. Go to roughgreens.com. That's RUFFgreens.com. Use discount code NEWS. Don't wait. Give your dog the gift of vibrant health. Order now. It'll be at your house in a few days. Go to roughgreens.com. That's RUFFgreens.com. Discount code NEWS for your free Jumpstart trial bag today. Rough Green. We make any dog food better.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-700-6898. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-700-6898. That's 800-700-6898. For $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with. Call Big Lou at 800-700-6898. 800-700-6898.
Now back to the Gashouse Gang, sponsored by Saliga Heating and Cooling on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Yeah, with Bernie Miklas, it's Chris Ranji, Saliga Heating and Cooling, a Daikin dealer. And the Gashouse Gang goes on until the Glover Show, which will happen at 1 o'clock here. So very shortly, Dave and the gang will get started on this show. Congratulations to John in St. Louis, who has won tickets. The holiday pack, the weekend pack that we gave away for the Cardinals. So congratulations, John. But guess what? Don't worry. We still have one more pack of tickets, one more holiday pack to give away, and we will do that tomorrow on the Gashouse Gang between 12 and 1. It's a Cardinals opening day pack. That's going to be awesome. So you can be part of opening day next year, potentially. So Bernie and Ranji with you tonight. We've only got a couple of minutes here, Bernie, but the Blues are back at it. They've got the Bruins in Boston. And Jordan Binnington, after getting pulled from the last start, from the last game he played, he wasn't happy about it. There were some words exchanged on the bench, which you can imagine would happen sometimes. And he's going to be back in net tonight. So I know you look at the standings, and the Blues are what? I mean, they're only a couple of games under 500, which is kind of wild when you think about how difficult it's been for them this season. They're 9-11 with 7 overtime losses. They are, as we talked about earlier today with Matt Pauley during the Chris and Amy show, their wild card position, they're only 4 points out of a wild card right now. That second wild card spot. That's at this very moment. So it's kind of amazing that with as poorly as they've played, the results have been bad. They're still not that far out.
Well, and plus add injuries to the list. Snuggerud's out, Toropchenko's out. They've really taken a wallop there, especially with Snuggerud. And their fourth line's been decimated by injuries. But here's the deal. I know they've been creeping up a little bit. The thing that's really hurt them just on the ice as far as non-specific performance is that you mentioned they've had 7 overtime games, and they had 7 chances to come out of it with 2 points, and they failed all 7 times. They came out of a point, but they had a chance to get double that in all those games. So anyway, I can't really believe in them right now because their goaltending, according to The Athletic, whose analyst is really good, their goaltending ranks 32nd in the league. That's last. And they're a team, the Blues, that really, really, really continue to struggle to score goals. That does not sound like a winning combination to me. You struggle to score and you struggle to keep the puck out of your own net. That's problematic.
Yeah, and I still don't believe it's coaching. There's something with the makeup of the roster that they have got to figure out on their own. I mean, I don't know what you do about this. If you're Jim Montgomery, I don't know how you fix it.
Jim Montgomery's career winning percentage as a head coach, coaches who've had like 400 games in the regular season, it's literally like one of the top 3 or 4 in the history of the league. He's a good coach.
He is.
This absolutely is not Jim Montgomery. This is roster construction, as you said.
Bernie Miklas, it's been great to do this again on Thursday. We will be listening in tomorrow when you are on Rush Hour Sports at 5 o'clock with Matt Pauley. Appreciate it. Talk soon, buddy.
See you, my friend.
Anything you missed on this show, it's available on the Odyssey app, iHeart app, wherever you get your podcasts, YouTube, it's available there too. But again, Gashouse Gang comes back tomorrow at 12 o'clock. Next, it is the Dave Glover Show on 104.1 FM KMOX.